We didn't start with punching trees. We started by punching grass, trying to get seeds. Because food sources are now limited, animals barely spawn. I also collected this flower as a gift to Mapik, but he rejected it. A few moments later, we found out this was going to be a lot harder than we thought. It was all dark around with no light, so mobs could spawn everywhere. All these mobs chased us into the deeper caves, and we managed to find a mine shaft. This early in the cave world, this is the only way to get wood. So basically, we got really lucky finding this. Since wood was so scarce, we had to be careful and only use it on things we needed. We managed to survive the first night, and we started off day 2 with mining cobblestone and getting iron. Our main priority was going into the nether, as that would be our only way of getting wood. So while Mapik started on the portal, I started on getting us iron and all the materials we needed. The first thing we made with these materials were clocks, so we could tell the time because there was no way of seeing daylight in these caves. I then went around collecting string, as that was our only way of collecting wool to make a bed. When I got back, he had the portal made, and we got super lucky as we got exactly what we needed, a crimson forest. So we collected a few pieces of wood and then went back. And before we left, we made sure to get a few more pieces of wood. Then I made the most essential item in the game, a shield. Then we stayed our last night in the cave and headed out in the morning. When we swam up from below, we managed to find the most beautiful piece of land. This is the most fine piece of land I've ever seen. You know, I just wanna... Anyways, this land wasn't as great as I thought it was, because as soon as I entered, I almost died. This could have been the end on day 4, but luckily, creepers don't do damage in water. Oh hey Mapik, I forgot to tell you, there's a creeper there. We were really desperate for food, so we broke as much grass as possible, and started planting it as soon as possible. This bread would at least saturate us for a little while. We then left this area to find a bigger piece of land. We adventured through lots of water caves, big land, and finally found our home here. We thought it would be a really cool idea to indent our home in this mountain. On day 5, we built our way up there, and when we got up, we felt it. We knew this would be home. We started off by making a little place we can make our farm. Then we torched the place up so no monsters could spawn. Then Mapik started brainstorming ideas for the house while I went and got materials for him. And going by myself was probably one of the worst ideas I've had yet. There were just non-stop mobs from everywhere. And this shield was carrying me. It was the only thing protecting me. But like they say, not all things could last forever. The shield could not protect me anymore. So I ran and broke myself a little cave. I then realized I was at half a heart and checked if I had any food, but I had none. I had to be really careful. At half a heart and only with iron armor, anything hits me and I'm dead. Desperate to find anything that could save me, I searched my inventory again, but still found nothing. Finally, on day 6, I came up with a plan. I found my location with my cords and then sent them to Mapik. And him hearing I was at half a heart, he rushed to me as fast as he could. And like Mapik always is, he's a simp, and then gave me some bread. I'm just kidding. Please, Mapik, don't get mad at me. And on day 7, things started turning for the worst. From Mapik's adventure down here, he had lost all his saturation. This was just great. This was so great. We stayed down here for half of day 7, growing bread and eating it over and over. It was everywhere. Hehe, little does Mapik know we got stuck with the hard job. Alright, saying that might have caused me a little bit of karma because a skeleton 3 and I could not defend against them all. The only thing I could do here is dig a little hole. I stayed in here until day 8, until I had the confidence to come out. I tried to escape, but very cautiously. I did this by placing blocks everywhere around me so I didn't get shot. Even though, when I tried to dig out, there were skeletons everywhere around me trying to shoot me, so I couldn't go anywhere. And if I tried to fall from this height, I would risk either dying from fall damage or getting shot by skeletons. And while trying to place a torch to make the mobs go away, I got shot by a skeleton. Luckily, I survived. And my luck almost ran out as I got shot another time. My heart was pounding. I was at half a heart again, with no food. And even though it took a while, my only way of escape was taking this little tunnel out. After a while of digging, I managed to find Mapik. And all he had was some rotten flesh. And you know what this tasted like? This tasted like sweaty cobblestone. Aw, what a cute enderman on our farm. Die! I swear I'm not a manticus. You know what? Just never mind. Day 13 started like every other normal day, staring at Mapik for hours and hours. I felt like it would be annoying just going down the grass walking down every time, so I decided to make staircases. It's easier said than done, but in the end, it worked out. On day 14, when I came up from building the stairs, I saw that Mapek had started the build. And for those of you in the back, it's a skull, by the way. We ran out of diorite for the build, so I went to go get more. And while I was just chilling, traveling on this adventure, I actually managed to find a sheep. This was really amazing because, like I said before, animal spawns are really rare. And even though we don't have a second one now, this one will be really useful in the long run. I didn't have any wheat on me, so I dug it a little hole in the meantime while I went to go get some. And on my way up, I'm not even kidding, at least 100 mobs spawn on me every single second. And even though they did manage to take me down to 1 health, I managed to deal with them. Without a sword too. Are you impressed yet, ladies? After getting the wheat, I went down as soon as possible so the sheep didn't despawn. Then we took the sheep back up, made it blue, and named it Cheryl. And then I finished off day 15 by making a staircase all the way down the other side of the mountain. I started off day 16 by making fences so we could have a little pin for Cheryl. That's right, Cheryl. I then replaced the stone in Cheryl's pin so she could eat. Alright, it's looking like Cheryl likes her new pin. I mean, she better, or I would strip her of her wool.